Very good morning, good afternoon and good evening from ZA6YI, situated near Johannesburg, South Africa. Wish to welcome you to the worldwide DATV Net. We're just about on time, I think. Not that that's necessary, but anyway, we want to thank everyone for watching today, and we have a number of people on YouTube as well. I'll be going over to the YouTube live channel just to check, and we'll be getting call-ins from there. We want to take this opportunity of thanking the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us the opportunity to be on their satellite using amateur radio satellite, of course, developed by AMSAT DL, the German branch of the amateur satellite organization, and also ably assisted with the United Kingdom, that is AMSAT UK. And a very big shout out to the BATC, British Amateur Television Club. That club offers all the information one requires to be able to come onto this wonderful mode. This is the world's first geostationary satellite for amateur radio. So we're very proud to have had it from about 2018 in that region. And it's served very, very well and has brought a lot of fun and interest back into the hobby. Something new, a new dimension. Let me just go over to the list. Let's see who's on today. Today we have Brian. Hi, Brian. Saw you earlier. G6HFS. Followed by Martin, G8 King of England, also in the UK. And then up to Peter in Wales, GW7BZY. Peter, if you can pass it to Graham, G3 Victor Kilo Victor. Graham, if you'll pass it to the Netherlands. He says not much to report. That's to Paul, Papa Echo 1 Alpha Victor Papa. And Paul, if you can bring in Golf 6 Mike November Juliet. I also heard Per, that is Delta Charlie 3 Zulu Bravo. So Per, if you'd like to come in, I can always register you on. Maybe you take it after Paul, Golf 6 Mike November Juliet. And then I'll put on the link that next time you can just log yourself onto our logbook there. So let's get the microphone back. Let's just have a look. I think it's to you, Brian, if you won't mind taking it. And it was nice to see you earlier. Let me just change this. Right, G6HFS to please take it from ZA6YI.
Yep, we've got some video and audio. Oh, living tickle. Still can't get rid of it. Right. Good afternoon, morning and evening. Not been up to much this week. It's been tinkering actually. I've noticed, if you look behind me, over what's it? This shoulder. No, wrong one. I thought it was this one. Okay, over my right shoulder. It's inverted, isn't it? Reversed. Confused. I've been having some issues with the Winter Hill of late. Since I've done an update, I mean, it's the ZR6 TG version, so it works okay over the internet on the VLC, etc. But I noticed if you've got a lot of large signals on, say 2 or 3 500 or 1 meg symbol rate, screen's got very jerky. But looking behind me now, looks fine. I've did some long time ago I did play with Linux, and just out of curiosity I've been checking sort of memory uses and overclocking frequencies. That's not a problem, but I thought, I'll have a dig around, see what the swap space is. Some unknown reason been set up to a measly 100 meg. So I thought, no. Default on Linux is normally around probably 4 to 8 meg gig. Gig. Hello? What's going on? Somebody double in there. Yeah. As I can't remember what I was saying now. Yeah, the swap space I've increased from 100 meg to 512. It should be a lot more than that. It should be in the gigabytes, but I'll see how far I can take it to see how I get it to react in the Windows. But, seems to be a lot better now anyway. Right, who have I got to hand it round to? Let's have a look. Oh yes, young Martin. Put up a test card. Hand it round to a G8 KOE. I may come back for a second, but I've got to pick the wipe up in a while. So I'll say 7.3. Round to you, Martin. G68FS.
Yeah, thanks there, Brian. No problem. Don't know that anybody doubled with you, Brian, but no problem. Something went briefly amiss. But yeah, not having any problems at the moment with Windows, etc. But all my things are on the PC. I've been I was going to say to Gary before I forget. Yeah, your audio seemed okay this time when you went to the list of stations that have logged in. So I think you fixed that. It's so easy to forget to enable some audio or something when you change scenes. Yeah, I've been experiencing some problems with my HF aerial. Well, that's what I thought. Suddenly found that the 991 didn't like and wouldn't transmit on 40 metres and 80 metres in particular. It's a half-wave aerial with a 4091 Ballon with Cates, so there's nice peaks and troughs, so it doesn't need any ATU. It's been working very well, but suddenly I think I've been playing with various like free DV etc. And connecting via the USB and cat control etc. And I don't know whether it caused problems or not, but eventually it worked out how to use the VNA, which I hadn't used for a while, and things looked okay from what I remembered on the aerial side of things. So I did a reset on the 901, cut it short, and all is okay now. So something I'd altered, or something had got out of sync, but see now transmits all right. I thought, oh no, because I brought a dummy load in and connected to the 991, and it didn't like that either. That's when I was thinking, oh, something's gone wrong with the 991. And didn't fancy attempting to repair it, and I didn't fancy trying to find somebody that would repair it for me at a reasonable price. So anyway, that's up and running. Was going to run SDR television, but I think I've got the frequency slightly wrong in it. I think I need to make some adjustments there. I think it's slightly off frequency. but it's mine. I think I've been a while since I've used it. It is I think it's locked up. Yeah, it has locked up all right. So it's probably some settings in the config there I need to play around with. But so I've gone back to DATV Red, which I find works as quite a good standard. And in fact, on my laptop, I think I've said before, which won't run SDR television or very much else, but will run. I think it just hasn't got the right processor in, but we'll run DATV Red, which quite surprised me. I think it's probably because it comes with a package and has everything that associated with it there. That works well. What else? Yeah, to you there, Peter. I won't mention that the sound's out of sync because that's normal, isn't it? And I haven't been on for a while, but I think it's out of sync. But it's probably my end. It can't be your end. Anyway, what else? Not really a lot else to sort of say, but I thought it'd pop up. I had a little bit of time, and I haven't heard anything on 3DV or whatever, but it's probably me again not tuning into the right places. But most of my time's been spent trying to get the 901 to transmit, which, as I said, was just a reset. Right, I think that's enough waffle from me. Hopefully I'll get SDR television up and running for next week and do a test with that, or during the week, and check the frequencies and stuff out. Right, round to Peter. Maybe the best picture, but not necessarily the best sound. Test guide, it's all yours there, Peter.
Okay. Audio. I don't know. That looks okay to me, but you know, someone will no doubt tell me that it's apart from you, Martin, because I know that I don't trust your judgment or that you would wind me up at all, but it's not beyond possibilities, I suppose, is it? Am I on? I've got the. There we go. Just joining the chat group there. Yeah, best. I'm only claiming for the best picture. I never mentioned anything about sound. Although it can't be far off the best sound. I don't know about synchronized. Sounding goes in via the camera, so it starts off fairly well synchronized, and the camera is synchronized to the sound. There's adjustments to that, which I haven't adjusted, but it is set to its sound. So all should be well. I see that you're using DATV Red, which I always use. I can't even open SDR television on my computer now. It never worked very well, but it tends to crash. Although I think I actually did, now I'm thinking of it, did open it a couple of days ago and it didn't run. I know on my laptop. I tried it on my laptop. I got a HP laptop, which I found the power supply for, which is I'm well pleased. And that does run ATV Red, sort of, but not very well. And that's probably due to my Pluto not having the standard firmware in it. And I did try returning it to standard firmware, and it still didn't run it. So and everything else runs on Pluto regardless of the firmware. Cube SDR is one I prefer because it doesn't transmit, but it's excellent. And there is another one, not SDR Sharp. That doesn't seem to run very well on my computer as well. You just come up with a black screen, and then if you fiddle about, you can find some stuff, but it doesn't seem very good. Certainly on my PC. But anyway, although I do want a new PC, a big rumble came out from the fans. So one of the bearings on the fans is going, and it started making a noise a couple of days ago, and it seems to have corrected itself, but no doubt it'll come a time. If the fan hasn't frozen, and it'll overheat and go off, or something dire will happen. So it's getting time for a new PC as well, I think. But anyway, time will tell on that matter. Not been doing anything radio-wise here at all, really. I said I've got HF rate, but I haven't really got an aerial up. I did have an aerial up, I didn't hear anything but noise, so I've given up with HF. Not really high enough up here to get a great deal of 2 meters or HF or VHF, UHF, should I say, 77s. So and there's very little activity. The most activity, there's a guy up the road from me, about a mile up the road. A mile and 400 feet higher up, 500 feet higher up, and even maybe more. And he had a little SDR receiving station up there, and you could hear a lot of things, quite a lot of activity in Ireland, the Republic of Ireland. I used to work amateur television into Bray, into Dublin at one time, from a previous location, and I could do from another house I still own on the top of the mountain. But the wife doesn't want to live there, so we live somewhere else. So, which is an excellent site, 1,000 feet above sea level, and you've got a vast sort of wide aspect over to, I suppose, over to the south of England, Cornwall, Isle of Man up the north, and over to Ireland. I used to work CB at one time into Belfast, which is exciting, sort of. With that's about it. Like I said, nothing's happening. I've done no more playing with my encoders, no more playing with the camera. I think the sound is fairly well synced. I'm looking on the messages. Anybody complaining about my sync? Apart from Martin. Good picture from you, Martin. Better, I'd say. Certainly better than STR television. But or the DATV Easy, which I used to use. But the picture is relatively poor. And if such things matter to you, then I think there isn't anything to beat DATV Red in the quality department, if you want the best amateur television picture in the world. And there's still an opening for the best sound in the world, so don't lose heart. From GW7BY 2 over there, G3, I think it is V. I've got it on my computer. Hold on. So I'm organised. G3VKV Graham from GW7BZY with a test card and a fade to black. Let's see if I can get it together.
Right, got some sound. Make sure the level's right in a minute. Bit more signal strength required, I think. There we are. Make sure I'm not overdriving. Nope. See if I turn some of these sounds off and get me on the picture in a minute. Where are we? There we are. I hope. Hope my sound. Oh, I'm just coming on now. Yep. Hope my sound is in sync. I'll just check. Everybody seems to be having problems today. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's not that far out. I better turn some of these sounds down. I've got a job to talk when there's an echo on it. That's better. Got rid of it. Anyway, good morning, afternoon to everybody, wherever you may be in the world. And all the watchers, listeners, and people watching YouTube and everywhere else. Interesting everybody's doing. We got here. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Winter Hill, Brian, so I can't help you on that one. I use a simple way out. I'm using a Pluto and a mini tuner on most of the systems here. I've got a couple of systems with a Pluto receiving as well as transmitting. No, I've got several Plutos around. Anyway, nice to see everybody. All good signals, and haven't been doing very much since last time. Hope my picture's all right. Struggle with the light here. Get bright light through the window, and got various lights trying to light up. I've tried up with some very white ones, but they were too bright, so I've gone back to some with a bit of a different colour. So hopefully it's okay. One or two things here to show you, something that might be of interest. Haven't really been doing very much except a bit of free TV. I was on last night, free TV. Video rather, not video. Audio. I'll get it right one day. Digital voice. I got it stuck in my head that a V stands for video. But I went on over Harbour State last night and had a chat with somebody over the other side of the country. And surprisingly, it was getting through. It's tremendous QSB on it, and it's the wrong time of the day for doing it, but it's a good half-hour contact, and also been on a few other times on 5 megs. If you want the frequencies there, Martin, if you have a look on FreeDV Reporter, it gives you all the activity on, and it gives you all the frequencies. And if you've got your rig coupled up with a USB there, it'll switch your rig onto the frequency that you're on. You desire by just indicating on FreeDV or RAID. It'll tune everything up for you and set it all up, which you probably know already. That's something of interest that might interest somebody. There we are. Would you like to see that? Particularly Paul there. I'll just remove myself so you can see it. There we are. Nice 4-wheel Messerschmitt. Belonged to somebody I knew, lived not far from here. He's now moved away, but he was always doing up something. I thought it'd be quite a novelty there. There's no excuses for, you can't take the wife out in that one, and not unless you can sit her behind the seat. But a bit of a bumpy ride, I should think, but it's immaculate condition. There's not many of them around, I don't think, with four wheels, mostly 3-wheel. But anyway, that's just something out of interest. I've got some pictures here of the shack and various other things as well. So I'm doing a bit on 2 meters. That's 2 meter video, 146.5, which we have an OB for. Switch the title one off. There we are. That's just receiving it on a K3. And also, this is a transmitter, very basic. There we are. You can't get any more basic than that, can you? Pluto with a Leo Bodmar to stabilize it, then a 10 dB switch to attenuator, and then a wideband preamp, 10 to 400 megs, and I put 2 meters or 70 cents through that, and then into either of 2 of those devices where the red plug is, which are Mitsubishi block amplifiers, 18-watt amplifiers I built. There's 2. There's one in front of that, which is for 2 meters. So that's the I only give about 4 watts out on video, but I've got a 60-watt amp as well. Can go after the 2 meter one. We're only allowed to use 50-watt ERP here, but if you put it into put a 5 watts into, obviously into a 10-element beam, you're up to the limit just about. But on a vertical, I stick the 50 watts into it. But there's very little activity. What else have we got here? This is my this is the amplifier I'm using at the moment. This is one the same as I think same as a lot of people are using. Gary's got one as well, I think. You probably recognise it, Gary. I'm a bit disguised in the box there, but that produces well over 175 watts of carrier, but up to 80 watts of video. That's it, and it's actually just a test thing with the power supply I built for it. Just 30 amp power supply. Well, I didn't build it; it's modular, obviously. It's a switch mode one, but it's a conduction cooled switch mode module, so no fans required on it, and it'll run up to 900 watts output. So plenty of current there at 30 volts. Just about goes up to 28 volts, which is about as far as I need to go with it. What else have we got here? I can show you. That's the inside of the amplifier. Now Gary will really recognise it now, I think. It's a VU3 OBR modification, good old Saro. All the bias has been modified on all the stages to make it more useful on 2.4. That's my downlink, 1.6 meter, 50 meters away from me, that is. But that's what I'm using for a downlink. The uplink, I'll show you in a minute, a bit further along. That's the operating position. It's slightly different now, but 3 screens and a comfortable seat. What else have we got? This is the uplink antenna. That's the uplink antenna, which is 1 meter mesh dish which I made. Ripped my hands to pieces on the mesh, but does work okay. It's got a patch feed in that bit of drain pipe. It's a G3RUH patch feed, totally different from a potty, but similar idea, only receive only. So that's the uplink. And another one of the PA with on his power supply. That's out in a conservatory, and is a bit of LMR 600 out through a hole in the wall, about 7 meters of it up to that mesh dish. It gets a bit damp out there, but I'm running it at the moment. It's in about 450 watts. The power supply is a whole lot to produce about 60 watts out. So it's not very efficient. What else have I got? Not a lot, I think. It's a narrowband uplink I've made. It's a 10 watt. Well, it gives about 8 watts on the uplink, and I've got it with a Pluto with a downlink, and then a laptop to receive on it. Just receiving at the moment. If it transmits and receive, obviously, through a 750mm dish. So I'm showing you everything here now. So hopefully, here's the main station operating position, which my voice isn't out of sync with the pictures, but that's the main station with the what's there on there? It's 23 SEMS, quarter of a kilowatt, 23 SEMS. There's 60 watts of 13 SEMS, 50 watts of 3.4, 9 SEMS, and 10 watts of 3 SEMS, and somewhere in there is what is it? There's something else in there as well. I can't remember what it is. I see a 910 on the top there, and a K3 Perseus SDR. So there's a 4 meter one somewhere underneath the bench, and various other ones. Okay, well, I better keep it short and put it on round. I don't know if you all get totally bored. Let's see if I can get myself back on the screen. Wrong one. Should be that one. Right, and then it should be that one back in the shack. So I'll put it round to P1AVP, Paul. So my picture's all right. I've got rid of some of the light out coming through the window, although there's no sunshine today. G3BKV over to P1AVP. Test card first.
First of all, check audio. And that seems to work. Well, great. Let's have a look. How's the output? Yeah, that's also acceptable, I think. Perfect. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to anyone watching. First of all, I have to respond to Graham. Wonderful transmission, and I really did enjoy the photograph of the Messerschmitt. Well, actually, I know a guy living in Amsterdam also owning such a Messerschmitt, and for many years he loves it. He loves it. It's it's indeed a novelty, this car. Okay. Furthermore, Gary, thanks for hosting, of course. Looking outside, it's really overcast. At a temperature of 5 degrees, and also it's becoming a bit foggy. This morning we had some sun, but now we have a small world outside. Doesn't matter. As stated, there is not that much to report from my side. That means I did complete the rooftop on my MG successfully. And that was a hell of a job to get it on top of the car, but I made it. That's good. And the next thing to do, that is to make the windows in the car. That's very special for people who are familiar with these old MGs. I'm gonna make that and the tonneau that comes over the rooftop if you put the rooftop down. So that's what I've done. Secondly, I tried the latest Manfred firmware version on the Libre SDR. I had a tip from Jaap, PA2 GSA. Oh, I do apologize. I was tipped by him, downloaded the firmware and wrote it to an SD card, entered that into the Libre SDR, and yeah, I had immediate access to the SDR. Over LAN, that's due to the fact that now DHCP is activated. That means that the Libre SDR responds to the DHCP server in the access point, and perfect. I did not try it together with SDR television from Simon, but my expectation is that again will work fine. That's what I've done, and yeah, in the evenings when you're sitting in the living room with a laptop on your knees, I also gave it a try with DATV Easy. It's an old laptop, and I tried software encoding for H.265 on that laptop, and that was not successful. It does not mean that I will stop trying it, but so far again I wasn't successful. And then I bought an old antenna tuner for the HF bands. You can see it here at the left. It's standing on the bench. The guy from whom I bought this antenna tuner tried to repair it with a welder instead of a soldering iron. So I also had to do some restoration on this equipment. But this afternoon I was successful. To my opinion, it works again. So that's good news. Well, furthermore, where do I want to respond? Okay, Martin, you talked about the DATV Red on the laptop. I never tried that. Again, the laptop that I'm owning, it's an I think almost 10-year-old Dell laptop with an i7 processor and 16 gigabit of RAM. It works fine, but I don't think it's powerful enough to run the DATV Red. But perhaps I should give that a try too. Furthermore, Peter, you stated that SDR television doesn't run, but I do not agree. It runs fine on my machine, but I have a lot of memory in the machine. That means 32 gigabits of RAM in this. This is an HP machine, and that works fine. So you can make it working too, to my opinion. And Graham, your sync and light were fine for me, no problem whatsoever, and I enjoyed watching the photos of the equipment in your shack and the equipment that you have built for the different bands. I saw the homemade uplink antenna. That's also really nice that you even make dishes yourself. Okay, that's it. I hand over to another Paul in England, Mike November Juliet from Papa Echo number 1 Alpha Victor Papa. I will show my test card.
Right, okay. Sounds like audio's working. Right, okay. Yeah, it does. Did sound a bit loud though, hang on. Did sound a bit loud though, hang on. Oh, that's okay, that's okay. Thank you, Paul. Let's go back to the list on my screen, and that'll prompt some thoughts. Well, firstly, thank you, Gary, for hosting. I've not been around myself for a few weeks because I have been busy. I have been very, very, very busy. I've put together a 70 SEMS DATV station, which I can now very easily get into our local terrestrial repeater, and I only need, it's going into a beam, I need about 2 or 3 watts to get in, but I've got potentially 50 watts for that, which is good, and that's working beautifully. And with the bandwidth available, our repeater, you truly can run 1080 HD through it, so beautiful, lovely pictures. What else have I been doing? I've also sorted out my 2-meter DATV transmitter, and again, that feeds a beam, but half a watt of RF. By the way, the repeater's about 10 miles away, so it's not too distant. But that works very, very well. But obviously, like on the satellite, it's limited to the 333, whereas on 70 I run 2 megasymbols. I've also got 23 centimeters, and that's been running, and I've been using that for years. Although weirdly, I kind of favour 70 SEMS over 23, and I can't give you a technical reason for it. It just looks better. Don't ask me why. Now, one of the things I have been playing with, or I say playing, picking up and putting down and walking away and reading books, and you've all mentioned it, DATV Red. I'd like to know what I'm doing wrong. I've got the zip file, I've unzipped it on my Windows machine. I run the shortcut, and it fires up, and it does lots of things, and then it seems to show me like a configuration file, or at least the contents of it, and it just sits there and does nothing. Very frustrating, because I'm kind of thinking that, you know, I've got myself one of these Pluto Plus things, and I really ought to push myself on from the standard Pluto with the 03 Perseverance, with the various patch versions that are available, and start to move on with the rest of the crowd. But so I thought, okay, well, we'll try DATV, not so easy, and I hit the same similar brick wall that I don't know. I'm not winning. I'm really not winning. But that said, perhaps one of you can just clarify for my own satisfaction. Will a Pluto Plus run the F5OEO version 03 Perseverance firmware? And do I have to run? No. Do I have to install the DFU files and then the FRM files, or is it just good enough to put the FRM files on it? For those of you who have done this before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The rest of you are scratching your heads thinking that man is mad. Paul, yes, MG. Yes, I have an MG. Mine's got a great big battery underneath it, and it's bright orange, and it goes incredibly fast. What a difference between the old school British MGs and the now new Chinese MGs. My goodness. Oh dear, oh dear. We as a country, we didn't know how to make cars. We really didn't. This new Chinese one is fantastically well put together, and is everything that our old MGs of the 70s and 80s should have been in terms of performance. But there you are. There you are. Now, according to the spreadsheet, that looks like I've got to pass it back to Gary. So as a recap, perhaps somebody could put me out of my misery. Will Pluto Plus run 03 Perseverance? And do I need to put the DFU files on first? Or can I just load the FRM files? And what am I doing with Code Red? Why is it not working for me? So, with that and an apology for my absence the past few weeks, but I've had a busy time and haven't had the time to come and join you all. So test card and then round to ZS6YI, Gary. This is G6MNJ, Paul in Medvergissey in Cornwall in the UK.
Okay, Paul. Okay, Paul, I've got the expert that's on, and he is the guy that wrote Node-RED, and his name's Ohan. I was actually speaking to Ohan. He helped me with a glitch I had a bit earlier. I had a corrupt file on Node-RED, and I couldn't get any streaming, but he sorted it out in no time. So he will be on. I just want to quickly see. He says he's going to come on. He must have been watching. I did ask him to come on. Ping pong. Okay. Laat ek gou opkom. Okay. I just want to say okay to him. Okay. Gaan nou na jou stuur. No. Then he can answer all your questions. Right. That's a luck, Paul. Right. Let me just go down the list while I get Ohan to quickly switch on his power. Brian, yeah, excellent from you. And there was a bit of doubling with you, Brian. You weren't wrong. And that doubling actually came from Paul. G6MNJ. For a short period, there was Paul, and then you carried on. But you can see it on YouTube later. You can always go back and watch that. But other than that, excellent over from your side, no problem. And then Martin, all noted on the 991 and the reset, etc. I had a very similar problem this week, although I've done nothing with ham radio, other than my receiver, the R9500 ICOM. It's a beautiful commercial grade thing. And all of a sudden, I couldn't receive on it, or very weak signals. And if I put the band scope on, the signals disappeared. So I was rather concerned. Checked the back, yeah, the antenna's in the right slot. I hadn't used it for a while. So I decided to do a total reset, which I did. And after I did that, I discovered I never had an antenna in the darn thing. My antenna was in the wrong slot. It's got a bit of a complicated, it's got 3 different antennas for different zones, but I don't know what made me keep it on the HF side. So I changed the antenna and everything's perfect. But I've done a reset, so what the hell. I have not taken the latest software. I just did the original reset and got it going. So I've lost a lot of my memories, which weren't important, a lot of airband stuff and so on. But you just brought that back. And then I did have an issue with the Node-RED this morning. It must have happened as a result of a stupid update. This bloody Windows keeps updating, and I have switched off the automatic updates, but I don't know how that one came through. But yeah, there was a whole system wrong, and Ohan just, he's also giving me a nice backup. So if anything like that happens, I go to the backup and then load all my data again. So that was that. Peter, yeah, nothing wrong with your video. Your audio was out, definitely. You can see it on YouTube just now. But otherwise, you know, you've got an excellent video signal, but there's nothing we can do about your face. I bet your wife will throw a pot plant at me for pulling your leg like that. Anyway, I know you can take it. And then, Graham, that was an outstanding video you made there. Very nice to see your station. Your workmanship's excellent. And yes, that's the Saro modified amp. I modified the bias on that amp, and I did send Saro all the detail to get it really nice and linear. And we checked the current on each section, and so I changed the resistors, and I know he did do modifications. He was just doing voltage, which is fine, but it's not accurate enough. So I did that and sent him, and I wrote an article in the BATC web page on, or what do you call it, page on Facebook, on how to do it, to go about it. And it's quite easy to do, and then you've got really good biasing, and it works that little bit better. But yeah, so but a nice, and that Messerschmitt you showed there, wonderful. I remember there was one driving around our part of the world years back when we were a little guy, but never seen it again. Paul, you know, you said you did nothing, but I think you did most than all of us put together. You got that canopy or the roof sorted out on your MG, and that's a lot of work indeed, and a lot of stitching and accurate work. So I'm glad that's come up nicely for you. And noted on the antenna tuning unit, yeah, many people use welders these days, but I'm glad you got that right. I don't believe in ATUs, to be frank. I only tune my antenna correctly to get the antenna resonant, and then I make a matching device if I have to get the antenna to match to 50 ohm. And in that way, I'll get a wonderful return loss, and it's resonant and, of course, matched, so you get the best of the thing. And right, and then back to you, Paul. Yeah, nice on the 70 centimeter DATV story. But what I'm going to do, Brian, if you will allow me, I want to bring in Ohan and see if he can help Paul, a G6MNJ, with his question. So on Ohan, I'm going to pass it to you, ZS1 SCI, to take it from ZS6 Yankee India.
Let me just check my audio. It's been some time. Seems just fine. Hi, Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. This is Zulu Sierra 1 Sierra Charlie India for the group. I hope everybody is doing well. I see I have a video feed. I'm just sharing my screen for Paul specifically. When you navigate to that URL I sent in the chat, if you go to path and radio settings, I hit a button here at the bottom called launch on start. So if you click that, and then the next time you open it, it'll automatically open the application in your default browser. Yeah, that cool. Oh, okay, that's just Gary sending me a message. Geen audio. Oh, frak. Ernstig? I can swear I can hear myself. Like, let me open VLC. I could have sworn. Yeah, there's a clap and everything. Okay, that's weird. In any case, I hope that other people can hear me. In any case, oh, okay. It seems that everybody else can hear. I'm just going to answer for Gary and then return to the group. This is ZS1 SCI for the group. Cheerio.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Ohan. Right. Just sure good audio. Right, here we go. Yeah, not a lot else to add, apart from 2 comments. One for Peter, GW7BZY. You've got to have a fairly recent processor in your PC for the SDR TV to work, SDR television. It's got to have the added core of MMX, otherwise it won't fire up or do anything. It's all in his article. It gives you the spec on what your CPU core should be. I think anything less than an i7 or later don't work. What was the other one? Martin, G8KOE. We spoke on All-Star the other day, All-Star Link, and I was saying my notepad wasn't displaying the proper information. It worked on my laptop, worked on the PC, didn't work on the blooming Apple iPad. And never guess what? It's the usual thing. Apple are doing the same as Windows. Stick an update on it, screws it up. So I had to go all the way through searching which one I had to turn off or change. God, damn programmers. Sorry, any programmers listening? No, I've just been playing with a swap space. Yeah, it definitely improves the Winter Hill performance from a measly 100 meg swap space up to a couple of gig. So that's about all I've been up to. So took a test card up. That's it from me. I've got to go pick the missus up in half an hour, so it's time to just write. So I'll hand it to Martin, and I shall disappear after my test card. G6HFS.
And you pass it to Graham, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Have we got a picture? Have we got encoding going? Yeah. Yeah. Just make sure everything's turned down. Oh, no, the channels. Yeah. The channels. Johan, the man. Oh, I've got audio coming out. Requests. I know you don't do public requests. Too busy and doing other things, but or moved on from DATV Red. But I've tried to add 3D noise reduction and some unsharpened mask via the FFmpeg instruction set, but it doesn't seem to be available. It didn't seem to work anyway. So is it a thing that can work, or is there any chance that you can make it work, or is it not non-starter? Because it would be good to use it either in the NVIDIA coder. What is that? I forget the name of the software, the processing in it. But I did have a long play with it, and I found it didn't work. So is there any chance that could be made to work? Maybe in another version because a bit of noise reduction and a bit of unsharpened mask would clean it up a bit and squeeze a little bit more out of the available data rate. What else was going to say? Nothing really. I found that you're meant to use, I'm sure, with DATV Red, and I could be wrong, and somebody will correct me, no doubt, that you need to use 7-zip. I have used other unzipping software, and it didn't work very well. I had problems all round. I'm sure it was DATV Red that was like that. Once I started using 7-zip, all was well. So I think that's right. It's been a while since I first installed DATV Red. But find it a great program, Johan. I had a lot of fun playing with the encoder settings. And I think I squeezed a bit more quality out of it. Obviously, payback is that latency is non-starter, and it's probably a couple of seconds, if not 5-10 seconds, from the time I speak to the time it gets out the antenna. But I'm going for quality. I would like some noise reduction and some unsharpened mask osgwachana, which in English is please. GW7BZY. Who do I hand it round to next? I think it's G3BKV from GW7BZY in a cloudy, rainy Wales. Also getting dark now.
Sorry, I squashed you a little bit there, Peter. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't transmit earlier, so I was squeezing in between you and Graham. And good to see Owen, that's what I wanted to say, as much as anything. And your sound seemed to look to be in sync with me now, so it looks like you've made some adjustments. And yeah, I'm now just running the basic sort of DATV Red, which I must admit is working well. Although I'm not quite sure why I couldn't transmit. Something probably I'd done something silly. But no, I switched off and rebooted DATV Red, and we were back. But yeah, the laptop I've got is an i5 that I couldn't get anything else to work other than DATV Red. That worked fine. But good to see you there, Ohan. And you had sound, possibly a little bit lower than others, but there was always sound there. So I think that's probably what people were saying. I don't know. Anyway, sorry I squeezed in. I say sentries, everybody, and over to you there, Graham. And it was good to see all that's going on in your with your equipment, etc. And yeah, FreeDV. I will attempt to get that to work. I just need to read in case I'm doing something silly. Yeah, I've got a display coming up in that, but I presume it's anyway. I'll ask some questions another time if I don't manage to get it to work by next time. Anyway, round to you there, Graham, and yeah, thanks for running the net there, Gary. I'll put a test card, and it's all yours, Graham, from G8KRE.
Right, some sound. G3VKV. I'll turn most of the audio off, so I'm not hearing myself about 6 times. Greetings to everybody. Greetings to Ohan there. Yeah, your audio was a little bit low, but other than that, perfect, no problem. And I don't know what you've done, well, you said what you've just done there, Martin, but you're absolutely solid in sync now, and something's changed completely from when you're previous over. Let me get my, see if I can find the right, there we are. There we are, I've got the office background on. It's not real, but it looks good. Better than the shack. Anyway, when I go to the shack, you find it's a bit boring. So switch the office on. Got a picture of where I am as well somewhere. I can show you. There we are. You can see what a hole in the ground Cheltenham is. It's that's a local mast. 300 metres up there. But I'm where the arrow is on the left-hand side there, on that little hill. So I can see the masts. I can bounce signals off the masts to over 420k away off those masts on 3 SEMs and 9 SEMs and 13 SEMs. 3 SEMs particularly good. You can get right away back down to North Devon off those masts. So I can't directly, and I can get over the top of the hills, which are to the east of me, and work over towards Oxford, down to Swindon, and down to 90-100k down towards the south coast. So they're very useful, those masts. Unfortunately, they took one away. There's only 2 there now. There's another one behind me. You'll see. They took the one on the right away. So no, the one on the left, the one that's in the middle on there has disappeared. No, it hasn't. The one on the right disappeared. Get it right in a minute. The one on the left has had 2 new dishes put on, and there used to be some microwave beacons on there, but unfortunately they told the beacon people to move it all out because they wanted to put those dishes up. So all there is the 2 dishes now, which are commercial point-to-point. But no beacons, microwave beacons up on there, even right up to 47 gigahertz. So there we are. You okay about your fault there, Gary? Yes, it's been annoying when that happens, isn't it? Especially if you've just reset it all, but at least it's all working. I'm using DATV Easy 308. Never used DATV Red. I've got Pluto. It's not Pluto Part Plus, so I don't know the differences of what will work or won't in them. I've got 0303 in mine, but of course with Simon's software, you don't need anything other than the main firmware that's in there, and also the mods to wideband it. My SDR television works perfectly. I've got a separate setup on that, but I have as yet to put it on the air, apart from on a dummy load. I haven't got a PA on the end. It's just 100 milliwatts coming out, but it works fine. I think he's got a different version coming out, 05 version or something this weekend. So there's a few more mods he's been doing, so we're working on it. It's Simon, and yeah, okay, the Messerschmitt, yeah, it's a lovely little machine. That was a few years ago I photographed that, and absolutely spotless. And how much it would cost for a new canopy for one of those if you broke it, I do not know. But yeah, I don't think there's too many of the 4-wheel ones around. I usually three-wheel. Anyway, I won't keep it because it's just time's moving on. Oh yeah, Paul down there in Mevagizzi. Yeah, I can hear the MCB beacons on 2 and 70 up here, just about. Much better when there's an aircraft goes across. And yeah, pity you're not. I don't think you're going to work too far north from Mevagizzi, are you? But yeah, it's a great shortage of people on 2-meter DATV. And I think if we don't use it, it's going to disappear for long. But hopefully it'll last till October, and then we must get some more people on. There's a few around here with equipment, but they don't come on very often. I can get on there within 10 minutes, but I'm trying to stir a bit more activity up. Okay, so I'll put it on round to Paul again, and hopefully your problems will be solved there by Owen. And you won't have any more problems with DATV Red. I tend to stick with things that I know get them working, and I tend to duplicate it with something else exactly the same or similar. But yeah, just using OBS and DATV Easy, which and I've also got NVIDIA Broadcast on it as well, various other bits and pieces. And I'm using OpenTuner as there are 6TG's version OB, but I've also got a couple of other versions of software. I've got 2 mini tuners as well, so I've got a fair bit of kit. I've worked one station on all bands up to 24 gigahertz. That's Dave FRE, about 30k away. That's home to home, out through the windows either end. Started off on 2 meters and went right the way up to 10 gigahertz, no problem. 24 gigahertz, I can only receive, can't transmit yet. I want to get that till we got all bands. Quite easy, all the rest, a bit fiddly, but through a window, but works okay. And I want to get the 24G. I did get good 24G pictures from him when he moved up the road a little bit because there's a huge tree in the way. So very, very good as well, opened the bandwidth stuff on there as wide as we could. So G3VKV round to Paul P1AVP, test card, and then over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Graham. Okay, yeah, first of all, Ohan, really good to see you again. I thought you had completely disappeared, but you are still there. That's good. Yeah, well, this is applicable to more people, I think, that we saw in the past in the net. They are kind of gone. Yeah. Paul, you raised questions regarding the Pluto Plus. I have got no experience whatsoever with that SDR. So can't help you. Yeah, and the modern MGs, the modern MG from China, that is something completely different, of course, to my pre-war designed MG. You cannot compare that. Another remark is don't underestimate China and the technology level and the quality what they are developing and building. Okay, yeah, and Gary, you made a remark about antennas and make them resonant, but there is a difference, of course, between your site and my site. You have a bit more space available for long antennas, and I don't. So that's a bit of difference. Okay. The background, perhaps I also should use another background, Graham, but I don't have one. I won't talk anymore. I say 73s to all of you. Hopefully we will be able to meet next week again. And perhaps Paul, Mike, November, Juliet, you are able to chat a bit with Owen about the problems that you observed with your DATV Red. All the best to all, and till next time.
Okay. Let's just check that's all working. Yep. Okay then. Right, well, oops. Just kicked my foot against something. Right, first things first, thank you, Owen, for pointing me in the right direction. What I can do is just transition to that screen. And to there, and you'll see that we're all ready to go with the setup, so thank you very much. Let's put my camera back on, put that back to there. So yeah, a little bit of work to do clearly, but that's fine. Yeah, I would never have found that out on my own. No way, not in a million years. Just reading my notes. Yes, our local repeater has got 2 meter DATV input, and each year that Ofcom seemed to, or whoever is responsible, I think it's Ofcom, dragged their feet on issuing our notice of variation for our 2 meter licenses. There's the 2 meter receiver has a bit of a holiday whilst we all wait for the licenses to renew. But it works well. It works very well. For those who don't know, Cornwall is a very, very hilly terrain, and 70 SEMS, 23 SEMS is quite a challenge to get the signals up into the repeater. Even though the repeater's on a fantastic site, it's in the middle of Cornwall, 1,000 feet above sea level. We're very lucky to have a 100-foot mast, and the 23 SEM, 70 SEMS aerials, etc., all at the top. But if you're in a valley somewhere, it's tricky. But 2 meters does the trick. So yeah, it's good stuff. Now, I've spent a lot of time and effort on the 70 SEM side of things, primarily because where I sit on the south coast, I'm on top of a hill, so I'm 400 or 500 feet up from the sea. I can see the sea from here. It's just out there. It's about 1 kilometre away. There we are, mixing feet and meters. Only a Brit would do that. There you go. Anyway, the sea's about 1 kilometre in that direction there, and I'm going to stick to my 500 feet above it, just to confuse you all. So consequently, Europe is all downhill from here. So my sort of longer term thinking was make a DATV signal on 70 and point it at Europe and see what we can do. Seems like a fair thing to do to me. So that was that. Yeah, I mean, just thinking about Graham going through his station, I'm just looking up there where I've got, like we've all got the station. I've got a Kenwood base station, TS790 with 270 and 23 SEM, FM and USB. The Yaesu FT920, HF&6. And then I've got all the kit for Oscar 100 at 2.4 gig transmit and 10 gig receive, 2 meter, 70 centimeter, 23 centimeter transmitters for our local repeater for television. Masses and masses of Heliacs coming in from the outside world. Great big 12 volt power supply, and a 28 volt power supply. There's quite a lot of the big amplifiers are quite power hungry. Behind me over that shoulder, I did that right. I usually use the wrong shoulder. I usually go, no, I can't do the wrong shoulder. That one, that's it. But I got that right that time. Is the workbench. I do spend a lot of time building things. I'm not one for talking, I'm one for building stuff. In fact, I knocked up one of these ham clocks on a spare Raspberry Pi and screen I had kicking around the other day. And that's sitting here on the desk, showing me pretty pictures of what the moon looks like and where the sun is and what the time is, in case I didn't know. Oh, one of you mentioned weather. At this moment, and this will change in 5 minutes because it always does, but it is not raining and I can see bits of blue sky, and the outside temperature is just under 11 degrees Celsius. Yeah, but as I say, give it 20 minutes, be pouring with rain. That's Cornwall. We've had so much rain. I think there hasn't been a day this year when it hasn't rained. Bit tedious really, but there you go. Okay, well thank you, and again, that's fantastic. As you can see, I just got a play set up now, so that's easy. Get on with that. And it kind of negates the question, shall I load 0303 onto the Pluto Plus, in that I've got the new firmware on it, which I think will work better with your software bundle. Oh yeah, final thoughts is, I'm not a great fan of sort of software based encoders. In fact, I use a number of these things which have got status lights and HDMI in with the aerial, HDMI in and 12 volts and audio, etc. The nice, it does H.265 of course, which is important, and they'll do 1080p, no trouble at all. And all this synchronization nonsense is just doesn't happen. But obviously it doesn't do H.266, so if I want to play with that, then clearly I've got to get my feet wet with the red DATV or DATV red. Yeah, that's what it's called, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, that's not my new project. I shall make this my final for this week. Hopefully I'll be around next, but I can't guarantee it. But I'll try and get in when I can. So let's put a test card up, pass it around to Gary, and wish you all best 73 G6MNJ Cornwall.
Okay, Paul, excellent signal from you. I just want to see if Owen wants to take it over, and then Owen can pass it to me, and then I'll close the net. ZS1 SCI, ZS6YI.
I have... Hello. Let me just make sure that I have audio this time, and that the audio is a bit louder. One moment. There we go. It sounds much better. Thanks, ZS6YI. This is ZS1 SCI. Thanks for having me on so impromptu. Let me just put off my screen sharing for this one. I can put maybe myself a bit bigger. I don't have my normal camera on me right now, but I do have the webcam currently tucked in, so that would have to do. Let me see. My solar system is probably not working. Oh, it actually is working at this point in time. That's crazy. Let me just show you guys what I mean. Sharing that screen again. And taking my face away. This is the solar dashboard, so for generating power statistics and so forth. Normally when I broadcast on the last channel, the RF knocks the ESPs that take the data from the inverter and the batteries, which work over 2.4 gigahertz. It knocks them out, so they don't transmit data, but it seems to be working fine now, which is a good thing. I might be low in power. Let me just see. I'm a D's 3.8, so I'm just fine. But otherwise, thanks for having me impromptu on. I have otherwise been working my butt off, and I have been playing with some software. With regards to radio stuff, I've recently gotten Tagger R6WAX to make a GitHub repo for the T3 things that T2 protocol, the DVB-S T2 protocol that he's been vibe coding with DeepSeek. I have gotten him to make a repository, so I'll be working on that. I ordered myself a Pluto Plus recently from AliExpress and OpenSDR Labs, which I'm going to use to play with T2, which I've never played with, which allows lots of muxing of different channels, and it's going to be quite a bit of fun. But yeah, that'll be my little next radio project. I do plan on fixing a bunch of things in Node-RED or in DATV Red, potentially thinking of making it a standalone application without the Node-RED backend, which would make it more stable, to be quite honest. But when time allows, that will happen. Otherwise, I say thank you to the group again. I'm going to go bath the children. Hope everybody has a nice day, and thanks for all the feedback. I appreciate it. Peter, were you asking about the audio filters for me for adding it on DATV Red? Just curious. In any case, this is ZS1 SCI for the group, and for Gary, ZS6YI. Have a nice day.
Okay, Owen, very nice indeed. Nice signal as usual. And I know you're not running on your normal camera, but thanks for the help this afternoon. It helped a lot. That corrupt, it must have been an update or something, but I'm glad we've got that safe file, so I can always call it up and pop it in if I need to. Yeah, otherwise DATV Red works exceptionally well for me. Incidentally, I've changed the resolution to 1600 by 900 just for fun. I don't know if you see any difference, perhaps, but otherwise it's working very well. I am feeding into OBS with quite a high resolution, a 4K resolution from the EOS R7. So I can't do much more than that. Anyway, looks very good. Dankie, Owen. With that, I just want to say hi to all the guys on YouTube watching us. There's 31 people but our normal frog in the throat here. Firstly, hello to Peter, DK3 Zulu Fox, always comes up from Hamburg in Germany. Then ON4AAH, that's Albert in Belgium. Hi, Albert. Thanks for coming up. ZS6 Fox Zulu, that's Frick from my town, actually. And it was his birthday, I think, on the 6th. So happy birthday to you, Frick. And then to Charlie Pretorius, ZS6 Charlie Romeo. Nice to see you on. And then to, of course, Rudolph Alfredo. He's always on from Italy Kilo 1 Charlie Oscar Alpha. And all the other guys watching on YouTube, it also helps. And we get many comments. Sometimes I get emails and stuff. People find this little net on a Sunday quite interesting. So with that, I'm closing the net, bidding everyone a very good evening, a happy week, and hopefully we see each other next weekend. This is ZS6YI operating the DATV Net. Now signing clear. 7-3 all.
Yeah, Johan, if you're still watching.